Let me know when you're ready, Ms.
We ready? It's live.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Herman J. Russell Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noted. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting to order for Herman J. Russell West End Academy Go Team meeting, the Go Team to order at 5:03 p.m. Our first order of business is a roll call. The secretary will now take roll.
Lysandra Clark Wilkins, Monique Lewis, Joyce Lewis,
Present.
Marshall Everett, Samantha Porter, present. Victoria Robinson,
Present.
Eric White, Maury Russell, Patrice Jordan.
Present.
I'm LaShondra Clark, but my last name don't have Wilkins on it.
Okay, I need to take that off. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Clark.
We do have a quorum present. We can't hear you, Ms. Robinson.
One moment, my computer mouse is giving me issues. One moment. I apologize, my computer was not operating properly. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Mrs. Porter, is a quorum present?
Yes, we do have a quorum present.
There is a quorum present. Let's proceed to the action items on the next page. Action items. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you by email. If there are any changes to the agenda, we will make them. May I make a motion? Has everyone received the agenda?
Yes.
I think so. Okay.
Yes.
Well, may I make a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda.
I motion to approve, Ms. Clark.
Okay. A second, and of course, that can be Mrs. Clark. All in favor, please say A, so the secretary can record your vote. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain.
Ms. Robinson, who seconded the approval of the agenda?
Mrs. Clark, the co-chair. All in favor, please say A, or you can raise your hand in the chat or the thumbs up. So that Mrs. Porter can take notes of everyone who agreed. Those who all oppose, please say nay. Any abstentions? You can also make your motion for that as well. So the next order of business will be to approve the previous minutes from the meeting. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you Are there any corrections? You guys can also go online on our Go Team tab on the Herman J. Russell West End Academy webpage, and you can find the meeting minutes from the previous meeting if you have not already received them via email. If there are no corrections, may I make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes?
I approve, Ms. Clark.
May I say, I, Victoria Robinson, second. All in favor say A. All opposed say nay.
Aye.
And you can also position in the chat so that Mrs. Porter can take note.
A.
Thank you, Maureen. All opposed say any abstentions, please say abstain. Our first action item from the agenda would be approval of minutes, we've already done. Approval of agenda, we've already done. Additional action items. Mrs. Troy, do you have any action items that we need to discuss that was left for you?
No, not at this time.
Do I have a motion to approve these items that we've already mentioned?
I, Patrice Jordan, motion to approve the items mentioned.
Victoria Robinson, second. It has been moved and properly seconded. Second, is there any disclosures or discussion that we need to have on the action items that we've already discussed? So we now are going to move into our discussion items. Our discussion item topic is the 2023 spring map results. All in favor, please say all opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. So, Mrs. Troy, if you would please review the discussion item, which is the 2023 spring map results.
Good evening, team. Give me a second.
Evening.
My apologies. I'm trying to turn off the kickback of the sound. Good evening, team. In our principal's absence, I will be providing the report. Principal Green had a very important meeting with our superintendent, our associate Soup Woodfolk. So I will be reviewing the information provided. If you give me 1 second, I will share my screen. As you can see posted on the screen, this is our map data from our 3 testing periods. We tested in the fall, the winter, and the spring for grade levels 6th, 7th, and 8th. This is our data for our reading scores. The last set of data in terms of our spring semester, we had 55% of our scholars, my apologies, let me go back. 55% of our scholars performing at level 1, 31% of our scholars performing at a developing level, 13% of our scholars performing at proficient, and 2% of our scholars performing distinguished. That's our 6th grade data. Our ending result for our 7th grade reading data, 50% of our students were beginning learners, 35% of our students are developing learners, 12% of our students tested at a proficient learner level, and we had approximately 2% of our students at distinguished. For our 8th grade scholars in reading, 43% of our scholars were at a beginning level, 39% of our scholars ranged in the developing level, 11% of our scholars were at proficient, and 7% of our scholars were distinguished, and that is in the area of reading. Our math data is as follows. For our spring testing window for 6th grade, 64% of our scholars were developing learners. Were beginning learners. 30% of our scholars are at developing learners, and we have 6% of our scholars at proficient. For our 7th grade math scores, 69% of our scholars are at beginning learners. 24% of our scholars are developing learners, and 6% of our scholars were proficient. For our 8th grade mathematics scores for our spring testing window, 49% of our scholars were beginning learners, 42% of our scholars are developing learners, and 7% of our scholars were proficient learners. Our needs assessment, would you like for me to go over that, Ms. Robinson? Yes? Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. During our needs assessment, we were able to look at the data from the spring math administration and identify 2 to 3 potential needs for our 23-24 school year. During this discussion, the leadership team have begun to develop a continuous improvement plan over the summer to support our scholars in ensuring that they are able to reach their academic goals during their assessments on the MAP assessment. Some of the guiding questions that we reviewed and discussed with the leadership team during the needs assessment, based on the data provided for the 22-23 school year. We're looking at what does the data tell us in terms of our learners? What good news is there to celebrate in terms of our students that are achieving academically and showing growth? Where are our growth opportunities, and what trends do we see in the data? What are the 2 to 3 needs we can identify based on our data? And that will conclude the portion of our report in terms of our student data with our MAP assessment.
Thank you, Mrs. Troy.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want this, Joyce Lewis, in looking at the data, how do we compare district-wide with other middle schools in some of these areas?
So the report definitely didn't have it on there, but I can tell you when it comes down to it, we're pretty much when it comes down to the district level, we're pretty much at the same capacity as every other middle school. I do know in like math, we may be higher than our partner middle school, which will be Hollis. But in reading, I think that we're lower. So it depends on the subject, Ms. Lewis. However, it's no difference, pretty much. It really is not a difference. That map data, if you go on graphs, you can pull up the map data for the district.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We are now going to move on. Mrs. Troy, I did not hear if you were able to speak on or you continued on with the information items, which would be the principal's report, about the parent engagement and so forth.
Received. So I will now provide an update during the principal's report on our family engagement activities. Most recently, we were able to host a father and son cookout. Our parent liaison and our event team, including myself, Ms. Lane, and Ms. Echoes, we were able to put on a father-son cookout that hosted over 100 participants. Most of the scholars invited their fathers, their grandfathers, their uncles, their stepdads to come in and to support. Our next initiative that we also hosted last Friday, there was the father and daughter dance, ties and tutus. We had approximately 40 father-daughter duos to come to this dance. Tomorrow, May the 12th, we will be hosting a mother and son sneaker ball. We have over 100 participants registered. So that's about 50 mother-son duos. On the 18th, we will be hosting our mother-daughter luncheon. We have approximately 50 people registered. So that's going to be approximately 27 mother-daughter duos. We do have a couple mothers who have more than one scholars that will be attending. So we have a few families that have 2 or 3 siblings that are female that will be attending our luncheon. And then on May the 12th, we will host our partnership luncheon as well as our STEM showcase. During the STEM showcase, we will allow our scholars to display and discuss some of the projects that they've been working on throughout their STEM projects and their project-based learnings with their teams and with their connection classes. Are there any questions about any of our family engagement activities?
Impressive.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Ms. Lewis.
No, I was saying that's impressive in terms of the list of activities. Really working on that family engagement. I like that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your support, Ms. Lewis. And I would like to also add that these events have been very successful. We've had great turnouts, and we've also had a lot of parents that have been willing to sign up to participate in our parent-teacher association for the upcoming school year.
Right.
And
Now,
that will conclude my portion of the principal's report on behalf of Principal Green.
so if there are any other announcements, Mrs. Troy, if you look on that last slide, I think there was one announcement. You can go ahead with that one last announcement.
And then our last announcements, Go team members, please check your emails starting May the 1st for the end of the year survey links. The following links for surveys will be sent out. There'll be a survey sent for our Go Team Satisfaction Survey, our Principal Feedback Survey. Please complete your required trainings for Go Team as soon as possible. You can contact the Go Team office with any questions.
And I know I did email the Go Team, so please, there are a couple people that's online now. If you could, please go check your email from the Go Team, because there are some trainings that have to be complete to make sure that we're in compliance as a team, to make sure that Herman J. Russell operates to the best of its ability.
And from Principal Green would like for me to thank all the members of the Go Team for your hard work and your dedication to the scholars here at Herman J. Russell West End Academy. She would have loved to be with you all this evening, but unfortunately she had another very important meeting that she needed to attend. And again, she wants to tell everyone thank you for yet another great year. And we look forward to continuing this excellence with our Go Team members for the school year of 2023-2024. Are there any questions or comments regarding my update from Principal Green?
Just the Go Team office also extends their thanks to all of you. And if anybody needs help logging into Ellis to complete those online trainings, please just feel free to reach out to the Go Team office, goteam@apsk12.org. You guys get enough emails from us. I know you know how to get in touch.
Ms. Jacoby, those people who were still needing to take some of the trainings, if you could, I sent the email. If you could send me the link so I could forward it to their email. I don't know if you have the email, but we are all on the same email list. If you could send the links out, because that was a question that I was asked, where the links were located for
Yes.
them to get on and complete their training.
So everybody has an individual login into Ellis. It isn't that way we can keep track of who's done it and who hasn't. So if you don't have your login for Ellis, you need to reach out to the Go Team office and we will send you your login information, the link, all the stuff that you need. And including a video to help you navigate Ellis. Okay.
Thank you. Are there any public comments? If there are no other announcements, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be your go-to chair. Thank you for attending the meetings and having very, very strong conversation about what's going on in our school to make our school better. Thank you for all of your support. At this time, we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? If not, again, I do say thank you, and I'm going to let you know, Mrs. Porter, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So move that the meeting be adjourned.
Ms. Leverett
Patrice Jordan, second.
and Mrs. Jordan, thank you. All in favor, we're gonna raise our hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. Any abstentions, please raise your hand. The meeting for the Herman J. Russell West End Academy Go Team Department is now adjourned at 5:24 p.m. You guys have a